Hi, and welcome to Cooking with Beef, and I'm your host, Joshua Glenn. In this week's episode, we're going to make a delicious broccoli and cauliflower cheddar soup, perfect for those cold nights. Let's get started. So in our large pot, we're going to add in our large yellow onion, and we're just going to saute this for a few minutes until they begin to become translucent. Alright, so once your onions become translucent, we're just going to add in our garlic. And we're going to saute this for about a minute just until it becomes fragrant. Okay, so we've added in our third cup of butter. We're just going to let this melt, and then we're going to add in our flour just so we can create a roux. You always, whenever you're making roux, you always want to do 1-to-1 ratio. So if you're doing a third cup of butter, you want to do a third cup of flour, half and half. However you're doing that, that's how you want to do it. Always 1-to-1 ratio. All right, so once your butter is melted, we're just going to add in our flour a little bit at a time. Make sure we get it really well stirred in there. We want to get a nice golden brown with this roux that we're making. The darker your roux, the less likely it'll thicken. So when you're making like gumbos, you always get like a peanut buttery kind of color. That's going to make your gumbo thicken up and give it good flavor, but it's not going to be super thick. Whereas this, we want it a little bit thicker than we do a traditional soup. So you always let it, don't let it cook completely to get a dark color. And it's just going to take just a few minutes to get to that nice color that we want. Once you get your golden brown color, we're just going to add in, we're using some vegetable stock here. We're going to add a little bit in at a time. You could use chicken stock here if you wanted to, but we're making this completely vegetarian using some vegetable stock. We add a little bit of time just to incorporate it so it doesn't seize up my roux. So we're doing about 2 cups of vegetable stock. Give that a good mix, everything gets in there really good. And then we're going to come right behind it with 3 cups of half and half cream. So we're going to let this come to a simmer, and then we'll finish off the dish. So now we're going to season. We're going to use a little onion powder. And your base is going to be onion powder, garlic powder, pepper, and salt. You can add in anything else you want at this point. If you want to do some thyme or oregano or basil, whatever your heart feels like it wants to put in here. Herb-wise, feel free to do that. I'm just going to do that. We're just going to give it a good stir. And we're going to let this continue to simmer, and you'll see that it's already nice and thick. And then we're going to add in our vegetables. So once you get a simmer going in this, we're going to add in our broccoli, cauliflower, and carrots. I used some frozen broccoli and cauliflower, just let it defrost first, and then chopped it up pretty finely, and then fresh shredded carrots. You could use fresh broccoli if you wanted to, fresh cauliflower. It's going to take a little bit longer in your cooking process, but we're going to let this kind of all come together. It's going to take about 15 to 20 minutes or so, everything get nice and tender. We're just going to let it simmer. We're going to turn down the heat just a little bit as well. So once you've simmered for about 15 to 20 minutes, we're going to add in 2 cups of freshly grated sharp cheddar cheese. We're just going to mix this in really good. And I like to use freshly grated because if you use packaged cheddar cheese that's shredded, pre-packaged, a lot of times they put a wax over the individual shreds so they don't stick together. And a lot of times it doesn't melt the way that you would want it to. So we're just going to let this kind of completely integrate into the soup, and then it's ready to serve. So once your cheese has melted into your soup, you're ready to serve. Make sure you taste it to see if you need any extra salt and pepper, and then it is ready to serve. A great and easy dinner for a chilly night. Forgot that I was close. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to follow us on our Facebook at Birmingham AIDS Outreach or on our website at baobhm.org. Bye.